Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Lisa Daniels. I'm a program specialist for the Oklahoma Supplemental Online Course Program, and today I'm just going to share some information about the program in general and then some specific information about how to enroll students in supplemental courses and the review process for state-certified online courses. So some historical context, the OSOCP was actually put into statute in 2011. So legislation was passed that requires implementation of online courses in all Oklahoma public schools. There are several items in the statute. Among them are qualifiers that students cannot be denied the opportunity to enroll in educationally appropriate classes, and there is a definition for educationally appropriate in the statute. Also, ongoing enrollment throughout the school year must be provided for all students, and every district board of education is supposed to have a policy, policies and procedures codified that conform to the rules for online courses adopted by the State Board of Education. Additionally, the State Department of Education was designated to promulgate the administrative rules. So the program does fall under the State Department of Education. The rules are is where the term Oklahoma Supplemental Online Course Program came from. I do want to clarify that that does seem to be something that is an area of a lot of confusion. People will oftentimes call our office and think that the state offers courses or that there is a program that students can enroll in through the state agency, and in fact that's not the case. So the program is really just the notion that students are taking an online course in their brick and mortar class. That's what the program is. So if they are taking an online class through your brick and mortar school, then they are in the Supplemental Online Course Program. So the program is just the legislative mandate that requires students have the opportunity for online learning. As I mentioned earlier, it's the State Department of Education that provides the guidelines and the policies for implementation of the OSOCP. They have a list of rules and administrative code, and among the 2 pages of rules that are listed there, I've highlighted some of the more significant pieces. The first is that the schools are the ones that pay for the online courses. So a student enrolls in the course through the school. So they remain a full-time student within the school district, within that school building, and that course is just part of their regular curriculum. Students may take up to 5 credits online in an academic year. They can enroll in additional credits, but that would be at their own expense. Students can take OSOCP courses from a location inside or outside of the school, and they don't have to conform to normal hours of operation. Students and parents can have input to the selection of an online provider, but the final determination of the provider is at the total discretion of the local school district. It seems to happen at the beginning of every semester. We get lots of calls from parents and or school districts because there seems to be some confusion, and students and parents think they have more rights than they actually do in this regard. So just because they want to take an online class doesn't give them the right to pick any course from any provider that they want. It has to be one that is approved by the school district because they are the ones who transcribe that course onto the student's transcript. If a student is for some reason denied an opportunity to enroll in an online course, that district must notify the State Department of Education of that decision. And all public school districts in the state of Oklahoma must recognize courses that transfer from one district to the next that were taken in an online format. Students enrolled in supplemental courses can participate in extracurricular activities. They are still full-time students in the districts, and enrollment in a supplemental course does not abdicate in any way the school district's legal responsibility, for instance, for things like a student's 504 or IEP. Those are still the responsibility of the district. So I work for the statewide virtual charter school board, the SVCSB, and we do not have any authority over the program, over the legislation, over the policies. Our job came to be in 2015 when the legislation said we need to have some kind of oversight to the courses that are being provided in the schools. And so our agency then was charged to make a public list of available courses that have been reviewed and have been certified. So our job then is to certify these online courses to make sure that they are of high quality and that, most importantly, they align to Oklahoma state standards. We also negotiate contracts with online course providers to ensure a state rate. There had been a time, and hopefully it no longer exists, but there was great disparity from one school district to the next. Some school districts were paying, $800 for the same course that somebody else is paying $35 for. So the state contract, in the contract, it guarantees that they are making available the lowest rate anywhere in the United States. So it's a violation of their contract if the schools are not getting the lowest rate absolutely possible from that vendor. So as you would imagine, the bulk of our time is spent doing course reviews. Per legislative mandate, reviews are prioritized for advanced placement, high school STEM and world language courses. And we do have a process whereby all AP courses that are authorized by the College Board are automatically certified. So if there's an AP course in the online course catalog, it is automatically state certified. Every year they have to undergo review by the College Board, and we get the letter of certification to keep that certification current. All other courses are reviewed by Oklahoma educators who are either certified to teach in the content area or teach that content at an institution of higher education. This is not the focus of today's webinar, but if you are interested in becoming a course reviewer or you know somebody who would, teachers can make an additional $5,000 a year helping to review online courses, and we're always in need for additional course reviewers. So if you're interested in that or would like to pass that information along to somebody else, if you could just send an email to info@osocp.ok.gov. Every course is evaluated twice, one time using a rubric for the academic standards alignment and one time using a rubric to look for national quality standards. The National Quality Standards rubric is an instrument adopted by the International Association for K-12 Online Learning, and it measures the quality of online courses in 5 domains. The ratings for those 2 rubrics are then published on the OSOCP website, and I'll show you that here in a moment. What you see before you now is a screenshot of the actual rubric that's used. It's probably so tiny and blurry, but it just will give you an idea. This is the Academic Standards Alignment rubric, and what you see in that green column is a list of all of the Oklahoma adopted standards for a given course. So this is what a reviewer would see as they are evaluating a course. They'll look at the information in the green. It's the, as I said, each row there correlates to an adopted standard. So they're looking for evidence of that standard in every course, and then it's on a graduated scale from 0 to 3. If they don't have at least an average of a 2.5, they will not be state certified. So we do have to have evidence. A 3 means that that standard is embedded in the course throughout the course, that students have an opportunity to practice that standard, and they are directly assessed on that standard. A 2 would mean they're either assessed on it or they practice it. So they must have at least a 2 or a 3 on every single standard in order for them to be state certified. The National Quality Standards rubric is a much larger rubric. It takes a lot of time for course reviewers to go through and evaluate the quality of these online courses. The first domain looks at the content of the course. The description I'll just read to you. The course provides online learners with multiple ways of engaging with learning experiences that promote mastery of content and are aligned with state or national content standards. And I've bulleted for you below just a few of the things that reviewers look at when they look at that domain A. So they're looking to make sure that there are clear goals, that they have objectives that are aligned to state standards. They're looking for the rigor of the content and for the assignments that are given to the students. They're looking for opportunities for students to develop information literacy and communication skills. They're looking for resources, for clear expectations, and they have a code of conduct and academic integrity policies in place. Domain B looks at the instructional design for the course. The course uses learning activities that engage students in active learning, provide students with multiple learning paths to master the content. The content is based on students' needs, and it provides ample opportunities for interaction and communication. And that can be student-to-student communication, even if it's not in real time. It can be student-to-instructor and instructor-to-student. I think this is important because I think there are lots of misconceptions about online learning, that it's strictly a passive undertaking, that students are sitting in front of a computer and they're just clicking through and answering multiple choice questions. If that's the case, they would not be state certified, because that is a key part of this component of the rubric. If students are not engaged in multiple ways to engage with the content and multiple ways to demonstrate their mastery of the content, there's no way for a course to earn a high enough score for it to be a state certified course. So you can see some of the bulleted items here. The course has a variety of instructional and assessment methods. It incorporates varied ways for students to master the curriculum. The course has a clear organization and engages students in active learning and uses critical thinking skills, higher order thinking skills. And there are options to adapt learning activities to accommodate for student needs. So those are essential components of a certified online course. Domain C has to do with student assessment. The course uses multiple strategies and activities to assess student readiness for progress in the course, and it provides students with feedback on their progress. So some of the bulleted items there are evaluation strategies are consistent with course goals. The course has formative and summative assessments for students to demonstrate mastery in multiple ways. The course provides frequent, varied, and ongoing feedback to the student. Rubrics and samples are available to students, and there's a clearly stated grading policy and practice. Domain D is technology. Looking at whether the course takes full advantage of a variety of technology tools, has a user-friendly interface, meets accessibility standards for interoperability and access for students with special needs. They're looking for things like, does the course provide enrichment opportunities and materials? Are courses accommodating for multiple school calendars? What's the navigation system like? Is it intuitive and user-friendly? Are there rich media embedded in the course? Technology requirements and prerequisite skills should be listed for the school district and for the students ahead of time, so you know what you're getting into before you enroll in the course. It's looking to see if it embeds content-specific tools. That could be specific calculators or types of software that might be needed in scientific class or a math class, for instance. We're looking for principles of universal design and whether or not they're 504 and 508 compliant. The course also has to have protocols for student privacy. And then the last domain is the course evaluation and support. So the course is evaluated regularly for effectiveness using a variety of assessment strategies, and the findings are used as a basis for improvement. The course is kept up to date, both in content and in the application of new research on course design and technologies. Online instructors and their students are prepared to teach and learn in an online environment and are provided with support. I think this is a really important one. I will tell you, several months ago we reviewed a technology course that was using it was a Microsoft Office course, and it was using Office 2007. So obviously, that course wasn't able to become state certified when it's so many renditions after the fact. So we are looking for currency of content and making sure that the courses are reviewed on a rotating regular basis by the course provider. So the provider is supposed to let us know in what ways do they measure their course effectiveness. So that could be from surveys that they conduct with their instructors as well as with students who take the course. Many of them also have external reviews, not just by the state of Oklahoma, but by national organizations like Advanced Ed. Courses should be updated periodically to keep current. Course instructors should be appropriately certified, and tech support should be widely available. Oftentimes, too, there is an online orientation for students, not just an orientation to the course, but to online learning in general. So those are things that are provided for student success. And then this is just a preview of the National Quality Standards rubric. You can see it also has a sliding scale. In the green, of course, are the standards that they're looking for, and it goes on a scale from 0 to 4, 0 being absent, and a 4 being very satisfactory. So in order for a course to be state certified, they have to have an average of a 3 on every domain, as well as in the overall rubric. So we're looking at satisfactory and very satisfactory across the board. There are two models of online courses that are under a state contract. The first is an instructor embedded model. With these courses, there is a live certified teacher who interacts with the student regularly. And by regularly, I mean, if not daily, at least 3 or 4 times a week. They are having video chats with the students. They are engaging with email and answering questions. They're grading papers and getting right back with the students. They're answering questions. It's just like a brick and mortar teacher, except it's in a virtual fashion. And those teachers do have to be certified, and they count as the teacher of record for that course. So if you are purchasing an instructor embedded course for your students and you enroll that student in an instructor embedded course, you would list that teacher, that online teacher, as the teacher of record, and you would list their certification. There's a place in the system for that to be listed. That's provided to you by the online course provider. Currently, as our agency is conducting the reviews, we prioritized the instructor embedded courses. So everything that you see as listed in the state as state certified right now are instructor embedded courses. Once we get through the reviews of all of the instructor embedded formats, then we'll go back through and do the content only courses. With the content-only course, they do not have a teacher of record that comes along with the course, and the teacher is not live. However, the teacher is still certified. The content and the instruction is completely embedded within the course. The teacher then the school district then provides someone as the teacher of record. That someone does not need to be certified in that content area. It can be the principal, it can be the alt ed director, it can be a counselor. It just has to be a certified staff member at the school, and that person gets listed as the teacher of record. But so while all the instruction is delivered through the online format, there's not a live teacher for the student to ask a question to get assistance on. And so there should be a liaison from the school district who can help the student if they have a question, or even if it's a technical question, to serve as liaison between the school and the online course provider. The Oklahoma Online Course Catalog is then a resource to school districts and to families to see what courses are available and to find out how they are rated. So it's live, it's mobile friendly, it's interactive. There's a list of all the courses that are provided by the 5 vendors who are under state contract. All of their courses are there, whether they're certified yet or not. I should just mention, so we do have 5 vendors currently under state contract. all of their courses are listed in the course catalog, even though they may not yet have been reviewed. If they have not yet undergone review, they'll show as pending certification in the catalog. If they undergo review and the review indicates that they would not meet the standard for state certification, they are pulled from the catalog. So only things that remain in the catalog are those that have not yet been reviewed and those that have been reviewed and have been state certified. There are filters that you can apply in the catalog so that you can see, for instance, is this course NCAA eligible? You can see what the subject level is, what the grade level is, and you can also see easily what the quality standards are and what their scores were. Soon we will be adding to the course catalog national completion rates and Oklahoma completion rates. So when you're selecting a vendor or selecting a course, you can readily see what is the success rate for this particular course. I've got a screenshot here, but what I thought I would do is actually try to navigate straight to the catalog so that you can see what everything looks like there. We're hoping this works.
Shouldn't take that long.
I think we're coming. Slowly but surely. So our website is osocp.ok.gov. And once you get to the courses, to that website, I'll just show you the home page first. There's some just general information about the program, some contact information. There you can do links so that you can print out a brochure if you need to give it to parents or to some other entity. There's some about, there's frequently asked questions, there's some resources available here, including a little test to see if you've got a student and you don't know how likely they are to be successful in an online course environment. There's a little interactive kind of test for them to go through to determine their readiness for online learning. But let me get to the course catalog. And as you can see, the various filters are here. So if you're looking for a specific grade level, you can say, you know, I need to see everything that would be available for high school students. So you can click 9 through 12. You can filter by subject area. You can filter by provider. Perhaps your district already has a contract with one of the providers that's under state contract with the state of Oklahoma. So you can see those 5 here if you just want to filter out for one of them. You can look at designations. So College Board approved would be those that are AP courses, whether they're NCAA eligible. You can look to see those that have gone the extra mile and have sought an additional national accreditation through Advanced Ed. And then you can see those that have already undergone state review and have been state certified. And then you can also filter by course format. So we want to find an instructor embedded course, or we are looking for content only. Once you get your list of results, then everything will be listed here. You can also, I should point out, there's a search feature here. So if you're just looking for an art class, or if you're looking for English 2, you can search for a specific course and find it there. On the main screen, then, there are some basic details about each course. So you can see the course name, you can see who the provider is it 1 credit or half a credit? Frequently, the online providers offer 1 semester at a time, so you'll see half units, but sometimes the providers only offer it in a year-long format. You can see the subject level, what grade level is, what grades are accommodated in the course format, whether it has the advanced accreditation. So you can see all of this information about a given course right from the main interface. And then you'll see this one is pending certification, and if you get what that means, you can scroll over, and there's a tooltip to tell you what this means. The course quality, because it hasn't been reviewed yet, we don't have the course quality rating, but you would see their overall score here, and there's a tool tip to tell you what that score means. Same thing with the content alignment, and there's a tooltip. This provider has gone ahead and provided national completion rates. So you can see for their pre-algebra class, nationally 50% of the students pass that class. We don't know what it is yet for Oklahoma. Once you find a course that you're interested in for a particular student, you can click the course details and price button, and it'll give you the price for the instructor embedded format. It'll give you the price for the content only, and then just additional information about the course is here. There's a hyperlink to the actual syllabus if you want to get more detailed information. Information about the student-teacher ratio, is it continuous enrollment? So all of that information is here. And then there's a how to purchase the course. I will tell you the easiest way is to ignore this how to purchase the course part because it's long, it goes into the state contract, because honestly all of the vendors are used to just giving the information out. So really all you need to know is the course provider contact. And it gives the phone number and the email for the liaison for that particular vendor. And you can just call them and say, look, we need to purchase a course for 3 students to take pre-algebra in a content-only format using the state of Oklahoma contract. And then they can just handle it from there. Okay. And then I listed a few very common questions that we get in our office. The first is, do districts have to use a vendor under a state contract? The answer is no. The state statute says that districts can use any online vendor that they wish to use. However, only the ones that are under state contract undergo review. So it's only these 5 vendors: Apex, Edgenuity, Edmentum, the Florida Virtual School System, and Odyssey-ware. Those are the only 5 that have a contract with the state of Oklahoma, and they are the only ones that can have state-certified courses. Can districts take an online course over the summer? The answer is, of course, they can, but the districts are not obligated to pay for any summer school or courses that exceed a regular course load in a given semester. A very common model is for the district to go, if, for instance, if a student needs something for credit recovery and they need to take an additional add to their load within the school year or take something in the summer, oftentimes the district will go ahead and purchase the course and enroll the student in the course and bill the family. So that's the most common model that we hear about for those. And then, can students take a blended course load that exceeds the typical day? I guess I kind of provided both of those answers, the answers to both of those questions in one. So that is my presentation in half an hour. Do you have other questions? Is there anything that I can clarify?
Give me an example of a possible day. Like, can they take 4 online classes and 2 brick and mortars, and one of those 2 brick and mortars be a sport?
Okay, so the question was, what's the possibility for a typical day? Can a student take 4 online classes and 2 brick and mortar courses? If so, could one of those courses be a sport? Yes, the answer is. The SDE administrative rules provide guidelines that suggest a student can take up to 5 online courses in a given day. So if you've got a 6-hour school day, 5 of those can be online, and only 1 of those has to be brick and mortar, and there are no parameters set for what that brick and mortar course has to be.
When you're reviewing, is it just one teacher's opinion, or what's that? Great.
Okay, the question is, when course reviews are done, is it just a single reviewer and their opinion as they go through the rubric? Every course is reviewed by at least 2 individual course reviewers. So 2 certified teachers look through every course. Once they have done their evaluation, they are given an agreement report to see if their scores differ from the other reviewer, and then they're asked to go back through looking at the other reviewers' scores and comments to see if they missed something, and if they're still on agreement, at that point it's sent to a 3rd reviewer.
So say I go to a national conference and I find that Georgia gets Algebra 1 on Odyssey Word for $100, and I'm paying $250 because that's our state contract.
So this question is, I've gone to, say you go to a national conference, and you find out that another state is paying a lesser fee than what you are for the same course by the same vendor. That would be a violation of the state contract, and so if you would notify our office, then we have the power to leverage for that to be remedied. Mm-hmm.
Could we go over the role of a district teacher when they're using content only?
Mm-hmm.
Is that kid out on his own now? What's the role?
Okay, the question is what would be the role for the district if they purchase a content-only course for a particular student. So really that is at the discretion of the district. There's nothing in policy that mandates any kind of facilitation that needs to occur, except that somebody will be identified as that liaison. I will tell you that the school districts that have shared with me success and unsuccessful models have found that students who struggle to learn are more likely to be successful if they are in a structured environment when they're taking these online courses. So to have even a certified teacher rather than a para in the classroom with them, just to do those classroom management things, to say, have you made progress? You're supposed to be at this point by today, and you're 2 days behind where you're supposed to be, just to kind of keep prodding and poking along. Those teacher skills tend to lead to a great deal more success, especially for students who struggle to learn. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? If you do, I'll put my contact information up here. Anytime, happy to get an email from you. I have a more specific one, but I think the generic one is just easier to memorize because it's linked to the program. So info@osocp.ok.gov, and my phone number is there, 405-522-0465. Okay, thank you for joining us.